Welcome to all of you in this video. In this video, we will talk about the human respiratory system. We will talk about all those organs which take part in the human respiration. So let's start with the nose. So the air enters the nose through the nostrils. Now when I say nostrils, I am talking about the two holes which are located in the nose. The nostril is lined with the blood capillaries, the fine hairs and the mucus, through which the air is warmed, the air is filtered and air is moistened respectively. Now, behind the nose lies the pharynx and the nasopharynx, where this whole alimentary canal gets divided in two parts. One is called trachea and the other is called esophagus. Now, as we have previously discussed that esophagus is the food pipe and this trachea is the windpipe. Now, the air reaches to larynx through pharynx. The opening which leads to larynx is called glottis. This opening is called glottis and it leads to larynx. Now, the glottis itself is covered by a cartilage lid. This cartilage lid is called epiglottis. Now, this epiglottis, which is a cartilage lid, it covers the trachea during ingestion and prevents the food from entering into it. Now, the larynx, which is also called the voice box, leads to the trachea. Now, the trachea is 11 centimeter long and it is guarded by 20 C-shaped cartilage rings. Now, these cartilage rings prevent the trachea from collapsing. Because of these cartilage rings, the trachea stays sturdy and strong. Now, the trachea at the level of 5th thoracic vertebra. When I say 5th thoracic vertebra, I am talking about the 5th section of the vertebral column. So, this trachea at the level of 5th thoracic vertebra gets divided into two branches. Now, these two branches are called bronchi, and each bronchus is also divided in more smaller and finer pipes which are called bronchioles. Now, the bronchi and the initial bronchioles are also supported by C-shaped cartilage rings which also prevent them from collapsing. Now, each bronchiole is also branched or divided into more finer and smaller branches which are called alveolar duct. See, these are the alveolar ducts, and each alveolar duct opens into extremely thin walled grape shaped sac like structures which are called alveoli. Now, alveoli are very thin walled, they are grape like structures, and these alveoli are always covered with a web of blood capillaries. Now, this is the place where the exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place between the blood and the alveoli. Now, this blood is flowing inside the blood capillaries and the blood capillaries are around the alveolus. So, each alveolus is covered by the blood capillaries where the blood and this alveoli, they make a kind of exchange point where the exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Now, one more thing, there is a very curious fact. We have observed that sometimes during eating, the people cough. Why is that so? Okay, we have already discussed that is epiglottis, which is a cartilage lid, and it covers the trachea and it makes a bridge through which the food enters into esophagus and does not enter into the trachea. So, it is a voluntary part, but sometimes because of very high stress or because of some kind of emotion, what happens, this epiglottis cannot function involuntarily. So, because of the involuntary function of epiglottis is prevented because of hyperstress, sometimes the trachea is not covered and the food accidentally enters into it. Now, when the food accidentally enters into the trachea, coughing is a kind of reflex action which again throws the food into the esophagus. So, these are all the organs and components which take part in the respiratory system, which make the respiratory system of humans. So, in this video, that's it. Thank you.